Hey guys, so I've been getting a lot of questions recently about wrist pain, and I'm going to try to cover what I do specifically for whenever I get any wrist issues. And this is more of a general case. It's not going to be specific to any one of you, but hopefully this helps a large majority of you. So let me just tell you what I feel, because usually I play a lot of League of Legends, typically anywhere between 2 to 3 hours, or anywhere upwards of 8 to 10 hours closer to the weekends. So I grind a lot, and that obviously, I'm not superhuman, it affects me as well. So, first of all, what I feel is like a general weakness in the area and some stickiness, kind of like it just feels heavier than it usually does when it's healthy. So, let me show you my mouse real quick. As soon as I put my hand, like if I'm walking around and I wake up, my wrist will feel fine. I won't even think about it. But whenever I put my hand on my mouse, immediately I can feel, there's something wrong. There's some discomfort. It's heavy or sticky. Not necessarily any stabbing or shooting pains. I don't feel any numbness or tingling, but it does feel sticky and it feels uncomfortable. So what I do before my gaming sessions, because if I just ignored that and I played a couple games of League, then I eventually, after game 2 or 3, I would feel pain in this area, and each click I would find myself like doing this mid-game. Like I would be clicking to ward, or I'd be right-clicking to move, and then I would immediately just automatically just do this because I need to release it, or like do this in between games, and that's something you don't want to do, especially if there's an intense team fight coming. So these are the things I'm going to cover that I do before a long gaming session, and if my wrist is feeling more painful than usual. So before you start, what you want to do is prep the tissue. So the tissue in question is being the forearm, and what that basically means is just like a warm-up before you do a hard exercise at the gym, you want to prep the tissue so that it can deal with the intense treatment that's about to come. So there are 2 ways that I recommend you do to start off. You can either just muscle squeeze, which is just gentle squeezing of the muscle. Straightforward. It's really simple. Just do a nice grip. You're not using 100% grip strength. You're not trying to choke the chicken. You're just kind of gently squeezing the area, increasing the blood flow. And a nice technique that feels good is if you squeeze and then you kind of rotate out of it. So I'm squeezing and rotating. Squeezing, rotating. So that feels pretty good. I like doing that personally. The other option is just general flushing of the area using your ulnar border. So your forearm is made up of 2 bones, 2 long bones. So on the thumb side, running this way is your radius, and on the pinky side is your ulna. So you're going to use the pinky side border to just gently flush the area. And generally you want to do this 10 to 20 times to really get a good flushing, for lack of a better word right now. And you don't want to just use all your power and your shoulders. You want to get on top of it with your body, and you're just moving with your body. This will be better for you in the long term, biomechanically. And keep your wrist nice and loose. So to save some time on the video, I'm going to stop here, but you get the idea. You want to do it repetitively and gradually add a little bit more pressure as you go on, so that you go a little bit deeper and deeper, and then you can find the points that are tender. And we'll come back to that in a second. So don't forget to switch and grab your forearm. Good. So we're leaning. Do a couple, and that's good. So now we're going to go from pretty broad pressure using the forearm to a more focused pressure using the elbow. So the elbow will get focused pressure on a specific point that's tender, and it'll really it'll feel like it adds more pressure whenever you're sliding and muscle stripping through the area. So I'm going to start here because the front of my forearm affects me the most. And I'm just going through using my body weight. You can see my shoulder isn't moving away from my body. The difference would be if I went here and then I just slid away, and I can feel some discomfort in my shoulder as I do that. So remember, just keep it together, move with it, and we're gliding through. I like to spend a good 10-15 minutes just on the area. You can spend as much time as you want, but obviously the longer you do this, the longer the benefits from the treatment will be. So again, switch to the other side. Same thing, using your body weight. And if you are particularly have a more hairy arm than myself, what you want to do is add a little bit of cream so that you're not burning the surface of your skin back in like those high school days when you were pranking people and just burning their arm, their forearm using that. So you add a little bit of cream. And that, if you use cream though, that's when you want to really remember to put your body into it, because you can slide and lose the benefits of the treatment. So you want to put your weight into it, lean in a couple times. And then I like to finish with a little joint mobilization by grasping that hand and pulling away at the wrist, like so. Just do that a couple times. And you can do it throughout your game as well at any point. Just kind of pull apart. You get some nice pop sometimes. And then to finish all of that out, especially if I'm going to be doing like a 10 to 12, maybe 24 hours stream, like some of you do, I like to finish this all off with an Epsom salt soak. So I'll show you how I do that in a second with my mobile phone. All right, so we're in my bathroom. Awesome. You can see, hopefully, how much salt I use. That's a lot of salt. But not as much as salt that is generated on League of Legends. Anywho, what you can do is you want basically like a basin or a bin that can house your entire forearm. So you can see that my entire forearm would fit in here. So it doesn't have to be in a sink. You just want to be able to soak your entire forearm and not just your wrist. So we want it pretty hot. Mine's maxed out. And you're going to hold your arm in there for a good minute. And so my affected side is this side. So as it's filling up, I'm just waiting till it fills up. How are you doing? Good? Hope you're doing good. Okay. So I like to keep my hand in this position, upright like so. I'm just going to sink it in. Ooh, that is pretty warm. Yep, and I just want to rest it. So I'm not holding it because that's just tension and it's counterintuitive. So it's just soaking. And that's pretty much it. Just let it soak for a good minute and then you're good to go. Hopefully it helps. If you have any questions, just let me know.